everyone, welcome back to my channel, Addie P's Real Estate Tea, where today we are going to go over November 2020 market report for the Greater Lehigh Valley. If you like what you hear in this video, please hit that thumbs up button as you all so graciously do. Subscribe to my channel and also hit that bell notification to be notified of future videos on this channel. And you already know, if you're watching me from Instagram, drop your girl a heart, show her some love. All right. I don't know why I laugh at that all the time, but whatever. All right. So November 2020, sellers continue to slay in this market in regard to getting what they're wanting exactly. Actually, they're getting a little over what they're asking for. November's number for list price received was actually 100.3%. So it's up a little bit from last month, but again, 100% of what sellers are asking for, they're getting in this market. Now, as far as the sellers market, it is definitely here, as we've been discussing video after video for a while now. And in fact, the median sales price in comparison to November of 2019 has risen from 19.1% to $243,573. So that is music to sellers' ears. I know it would be music to my ears if I was a seller. All right. Days on the market is down in comparison to November of 2019, and that's down to 41.2. It's down by, 41.2% to 20 days on the market. That's fantastic. Month supply has also unfortunately decreased. We are down to 1.1 months in comparison to November of last year. We're down by 52.2%, so over 50%. So we only have literally 1.1 months worth of inventory available on the market. And the way things are going as far as buyer demand, which that continues to be strong, with the interest rates and so forth being ridiculously, just awesomely low. Um, there's just, it's a perfect storm for this low supply, high demand market. So I really don't anticipate this number changing, at least for the next foreseeable couple of months or so. We normally, at this point in time, we see a real cool down and so forth. But with us dealing with the pandemic earlier on this year, it really, slowed things down at that time. But we definitely have been making up for it thus far. And I got to say, honestly, even during that moment in time when we were dealing with the heavy, restricted lockdowns, as agents, we were not able to show homes. There was still some selling going on in regard to folks buying properties sight unseen. So that was a big thing, just about 6 months ago. And so we really have, come some way, but we're seeing a lot of what we would have been seeing in the spring now. And industry experts, most of them are saying that we will more than likely see this trend continue. Now, I will have a video coming up on the 2021 outlook, where I've kind of gathered some input from from the industry experts on what real estate will look like in 2021. Now, my personal take on it is I think that we definitely will continue strong here for the next I'd say at least 3 to 4 months with heavy buyer demand and low inventory. I think that at some point in time, even though interest rates will more than likely continue to stay low, they have to really remain low, or else there will be, quite an issue in regard to how that will play out in the market. But I think that towards the mid to maybe end part of 2021, we'll probably start to flatten out a bit. That's just my personal outlook on it. However, it really all depends on what kind of economic outlook we're looking at right now. Now, here in PA, the governor has issued a stay at home advisory, which over the weekend, as a matter of fact, yesterday, as I'm recording this Sunday afternoon, but the governor had basically stated that all indoor dining was to cease until after January, which I think it was like January 4th, that the order is in play for. And that, so that really has harmed quite a few restaurants, and some small businesses that, depend on that, especially this time of year. So what is that going to do with a sector of folks that work in the industry? It's going to hurt them in the sense that if they were in the market of looking for, a place, a home to purchase, well, now they're not working, now they're unemployed. Well, most mortgage companies do not issue any mortgages to folks that are not employed, so it really is going to cause a bit of upset, needless to say. So my heart definitely goes out to those folks who have unfortunately gotten caught in the crosshairs of that. I understand for public safety and health reasons that the governor issued that, and no doubt we definitely need some kind of proactive measures to help slow this virus down a bit. However, I also understand from, an employer and employee perspective of it being the holiday and now being faced with yet again, some more bad news. Unfortunately, this year has definitely not been kind to any of us in that sense. Of this whole virus pandemic and changing the way that we do things in this world in our day to day lives. So, anyway, not to go off on too much of a tangent here, but I feel that those types of things will definitely affect how we move forward into the thick of things in 2021. Now, also, we still do have this underlying eviction foreclosure issue that may unfold in 2021. It really all depends on how things play out economically. Now, hopefully, hello, CDC, you all have issued that extension that is due to expire the end of this month, the 31st of December. So I'm hoping that, they'll wake up here and, issue another extension, at least even if it's for a couple months into 2021. Now, the only extension, again, that has been issued, which I did a quick video on it last week, was the extension from FHFA, and that is only applying to those who have mortgages or you're staying in a residence, a single family residence that has a mortgage that's backed by by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. So again, that was the FHFA moratorium extending the eviction or foreclosure happenings until January 31st of 2021. So hopefully by that time the CDC has gotten themselves together. I'm sure they have a lot on their plate dealing with the uptick in this whole pandemic and the virus again, but still we need some proactive measures put in place because there's some homeowners that are on the brink of potentially getting foreclosed on, and there's a lot of tenants, I'm sure, that are on the brink of eviction. And come January 1st, unless they do something, that will take place. So, again, numbers for back to our market report, numbers are looking great as usual. And as far as the pending sales were up because, again, activity has been great in comparison to 2019. November of 2019, the pending sales were up 21.2% to 733 here in the Lehigh Valley. So that's great. And again, buyers continuing to benefit from this great market of low interest rates. Unfortunately, with the whole, supply being so short, it kind of makes it, a little frustrating. However, the buyers that I've worked with, during this whole time and that I continue to work with, they're already educated and know what they're up against. And I think that that's important from a buyer perspective to just be in the know off the bat that this may not be something quick and easy. I've done videos in the past month where I've discussed some things that you can do to kind of sweeten the pot a little bit in regard to your offer. But of course, we all know cash is king. It still is. If you're a cash buyer, definitely kudos to you. Unless you're coming in with some ridiculously low ball offer, if you're paying cash, it's convenient, it's easy. If your terms are clean and clear on the agreement of sale, then I really don't see why you'd have an issue with securing that bid that you place on the property if you're in a bidding war. In regard to the next best thing that most sellers tend to look at is conventional loans. Conventional loans tend to be a little bit more clean and crisp in regard to appraisals and so forth. Depending on the program that you get, some conventional buyers are able to bring that 20%. However, there are some loan programs where conventional buyers, if they are remaining in the home and it's going to be their primary residence, they have the option of a 3% or 5% down, and that's with a conventional. FHA is last. It's not horrible, so I definitely don't want anybody to perceive that. It's definitely not horrible. FHA sometimes during their appraisal process, it tends to be a little bit more stringent as far as things that they're looking for to determine habitability. So that's why it's usually kind of like the last that they go over. But again, their down payment requirement is 3.5%. So that's really not bad either from a buyer end. And if you guys have any questions on any of that, please feel free, drop me a comment, contact me directly, and I'd be more than happy to chat with you about that. But needless to say, those are definitely some things that you have to look at as a buyer going into it. And what are you able to offer that's appealing to the seller besides the fact that, hey, I want to purchase your house and I'm going to pay you full price. While that's nice and it may work in some cases, in this particular market where you're up against maybe four, five, six on up offers, you really have to stand out. Writing letters are nice to accompany your offer. Also, certain contingencies, and we've discussed this in other videos in regard to possibly lessening your time that you ask for with inspections, or writing an addendum in accordance with your contract to say that this inspection that I'm getting is just for my purposes only as the buyer. I'm not asking you to fix anything, because that's kind of a thing with sellers. Most sellers just kind of want to be done with the whole thing. They don't want to have to be going through repairing things. Some sellers are okay with repairing things, but they don't want to have something picked apart either. So that's another day, another video. But needless to say, just some quick tips for buyers that are out here in the market, and just a little word of encouragement to not get like totally beside yourself and discouraged. you will eventually find your home. May not be today, may not be tomorrow, it may not even be next week, but you will find something. And in this particular market, it may take a little compromise, but that's okay too. All right, well, again, enough of my ramblings. Like I said, do have another video coming up soon in reference to how the outlook is going to be with real estate in 2021, and some things that we can expect. And again, like I told you guys before, some upcoming videos on my channel, really trying to bring some fresh content to you all, some things that I feel will be beneficial. If you have any suggestions for me, please comment in the box below there. And otherwise, you all have a blessed day. Take care.